Hey, now in the monopoly and oligopoly section, we are talking about its definition and some news that are being in the world. First, a monopoly is a simple market with only one seller and no close substitutes for that seller product. Technical, the term monopoly is supposed to refer to the market itself, but it's become common for the single seller in the market to also be referred to as a monopoly. Rather, it's also fairly common for the single seller in a market to be referred to as a monopolist. Now, two news that are being in the world. First, why the industries prefer monopolies. The adversity in Congress in Jaipur provokes the question as whether industries prefer monopoly competition in markets. In the days of licenses permit rush, industrial and import licenses confer monopoly or quasi-monopoly's position on the license. He could produce shoddy goods, no bother too much about efficiency, improvement and cost because he could pass on rising costs to the consumer. The public sector was by definition given monopoly position, except to the extent there were pre-existing private producers or suppliers. Electricity, water, roads, railways, civil aviation, oil and gas exploration, refining and distribution, and in short were only a few of the instances. In other sectors like steel, aluminium, electricity and banks, new entrants we are not alone. The government-owned enterprise enabled such private entities that were there in the sector to do extremely well. The consumer was the one who suffered. Now, in the second news, that is about China's Air Force monopoly caused flight delays, say the experts. As you know, the airport begins as Chinese international airports gain notified for flight delays, fearing at the bottom of the survived aviation official her blame eating to the Air Force, which appears that the 13% of the airspace for the civilian flights and keep rest of for itself. Less than 13% of China's airspace can be used by civilian airlines, compared to the over 18% in the United States, an unnamed official told State-run China Daily. Well, wait a moment, please. Well, now in the oligopoly section, an oligopoly is a market form in which a market or industry is dominated by a smaller number of sellers, say oligopolies. Oligopolies can result from various forms of collusion with reduced competition and lead to higher costs for consumers. Alternative oligopolies can see first competition because competitors can realize large gains and lose at each other's expense. In such oligopolies, outcomes for consumers can often be favorable. Now, one news that is being in the world, let's say the oligopoly problem. In a recent T-Mobile commercial, one blackhead unlocks bricks with the rest of his gang. Out, he says, I can't do this anymore. The message is not subtle. Yes, we have been robbing you for years, declares T-Mobile. But at least we have decided we are done with it. There's more than rhetoric here. T-Mobile recently broke with long-standing industry norms and advanced termination fees, sneak overshares, and other undefined practice. Although T-Mobile's decision will become news for consumers, it doesn't change the fact that the old exchange remained in place for about 15 years, and that they remain in place for the vast majority of American steel tape in contracts with versions AT&T and Sprint, and it cheats a long standing problem with how we think about and treat anti-competitive practice in the United States. Our contract approach, focused not exclusively on a monopoly, fails to address the serious problem posed by highly concentrated industry is about the oligopoly problem. Well, now we are going to talk Now,
¿Qué? ¿No es cuando se acueste abajo?
okay, thanks. Now we will win a other not well. Now we will win another section of economy. Thanks.
A ver, la cago porque